Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Austin Reaves talks about Lakers' growth as of late. Since being hired as head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, J.J. Redick has experimented plenty with lineups and rotations. Notably, he recently put Austin Reaves as the main ball handler, taking on more point guard responsibilities. Thankfully, Max Christie found himself once again as a much-needed 3-and-D presence to relieve defensive pressure off Reaves. Then, Rui Hachimura is a bigger body that can occasionally give LA extra opportunities and be a worthy fourth scoring option. However, with Dorian Finney-Smith entering the fold, the Lakers' defense is continuing to improve. But following Friday's game against the Atlanta Hawks, Redick was not pleased with his team's execution in the first half, and Reaves would agree with him. "Yeah. I would agree with him," he said. "I don't feel like we played a good first half of basketball, but we were still winning. And when you do that, you can take things that you were doing well to have that lead, and then you stack it on top of the things that you could do better. And that's when you become a dangerous team, win games that you're not technically supposed to win, or you feel like you didn't play good enough to win, and then you turn around and try to go play a perfect game and just continue to grow and get better." While it may sound discouraging, Reaves believes that everyone is working towards becoming a great team with their new pieces in place. "We're a ways, to be honest with you, but everybody's working in the right direction to becoming that," Reaves said. He said that at halftime tonight, he was like. He came in, basically said that he was disappointed in some of the game plan, discipline stuff, and then when we was about to go out, he was like, basically, "The reason I'm saying that is because I want to be a great team. I don't want to just be a good team and adding dough and shake, Milton. It's going to take time for them to really 100% understand everything that we're trying to do. I feel like they've done a great job these last 2 games. But we've thrown them in the fire, and they're kind of out there just playing hard right now. And once they fully understand exactly what we're doing, as long as everybody else learning to play with them, it's going to be good for us. And you always strive to be great." Despite these concerns, Reaves is enjoying how they are playing as of late with their unselfish mindset. "I've really enjoyed the way we've played basketball the last 10 or so games," Reaves added. "Not that I wasn't before, but I feel like everybody's in a good rhythm. Everybody feels good. Everybody's touching the ball, and it's moving. Everybody's making the swing when you have the opportunity. It's just unselfish basketball, and that's the way you need to play. Yeah, but it's not about me, and it's about everybody putting me in positions to be successful, the coaching staff, players, obviously making shots. And I'm kind of just out there passing it to the open person. But like I said, it's not about me. It's about the collective group that we have, and continuing to try to play the game the right way. And obviously Bron and AD helped me in so many ways that the average basketball fan probably doesn't see, so sometimes my life is a lot easier than what it probably really seems with them two out there and everybody else as well. Integrating new pieces mid-season is never easy, but the Lakers have been figuring it out on the fly while winning games. Nonetheless, the makings of a good team are starting to come to fruition, and hopefully, LA can get to that point. "You come for the king, you better not miss," NBA legend torches Lakers coach after criticism. During an episode of Inside the NBA, Barkley ripped Redick for comments he made about NBA ratings last month, when the former ESPN analyst placed blame on the league's media partners for fueling negative talk about their own product, and predicted he won't be at the helm long in Los Angeles, the New York Post reports. He said something about, "We're the reasons people ain't watching this crappy product we got, like we out there jacking up 100 threes a night," Barkley said in the midst of host Ernie Johnson voicing the highlights of Boston's 118-115 win over Minnesota. "JJ, you come for the king, you better not miss, because I can get you, brother. Remember, I got your Lakers games. You can't hide them flaws they got. You just a dead man walking. They got rid of former coach Frank Vogel, who did a good job. They got rid of former coach Darvin Ham, who did a good job. But you came out there thinking you were gonna change things with that same ugly girl you went on a date with. The TNT crew couldn't contain their laughter while Johnson attempted to move on by continuing the game highlights. He came in there thinking, I can make this thing work, Barkley said of Redick leaving his ESPN job and his basketball podcast with Lakers star LeBron James to coach the team. Hell you can. Put some makeup on that pig. The Lakers stink, man. Come on, man. The Lakers are in 4th place in the Western Conference with a 20-14 record. Redick was asked about Barkley's comments, but the Lakers coach wasn't interested in engaging. I literally don't care, he said before their game against the Atlanta Hawks. I have other thoughts, but I don't care. Barkley's savage takedown came in reference to Redick's comments he made last month while discussing the NBA TV ratings being down. I don't think we have done a good job of storytelling, of celebrating the game, Redick said before the Lakers beat the Kings, 113-100, on December 20th. If I'm a casual fan and you tell me every time I turn on the television that the product sucks, well, I'm not going to watch the product. And that's really what has happened over the last 10 to 15 years. I don't know why. It's not funny to me. Redick, a 15-year NBA guard, cited national partners among those who played a part in the negative discourse, according to The Athletic. The Lakers coach didn't name anyone in particular. This game should be celebrated, Redick said. The league is more talented and skilled than it was 18 years ago when I was drafted. That's a fact. There are more players that are excellent. There are more teams that are excellent. The TNT inside the NBA crew, including Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, have been critical of an emphasis on three-pointers amid sinking ratings. News analysis: it's a big month for the Lakers as trade deadline looms. Forget good. The Lakers want to be great. That was Coach J.J. Redick's halftime message Friday night to the Lakers, his frustration with the team's lack of attention to defensive details boiling over first into a couple of rage-induced timeouts and later into a challenge to his group to be better. The timing, which came with the Lakers leading a game they'd eventually win 119-102 against Atlanta, indicates something that's been percolating behind the scenes over the last month, that the Lakers might actually be on to something worth investing in. Since the team moved Max Christie into the starting lineup on December 8, the Lakers are 8-3. They're 6th in the NBA in defensive efficiency during that stretch. Over the last 7 games, their offense has awoken. And their acquisition of Dorian Finney-Smith, one of the premier role players available on the trade market, not only gives clues to the type of team they're trying to build, but also cleared a runway for Austin Reeves to try to become the team's third star. All of it has sort of uncluttered things for Redick, general manager and vice president of basketball operations Rob Pelinka, and the organization. With a month until the NBA trade deadline and a favorable schedule, the next move has people around the league curious about what direction the Lakers will go in the build to the February 6 trade deadline. Instead of frantically hunting for a third star or pushing chips in on a starting caliber center, the Lakers, rival executives believe, will move in different ways than it might have seemed earlier this season. Christie has given the Lakers the kind of defensive speed and shooting they wanted in their backcourt, playing himself out of any marginal trade conversations. And the Lakers' resistance to a third maximum salary contract has only gone up since their failed Russell Westbrook experience, the constraints of the new salary cap rules making that kind of roster construction more of an albatross than a luxury. Sorry, Jimmy Butler fans. There had been some early season consensus that the Lakers would be aggressive in their pursuit of a center to either play with Anthony Davis or behind him, but the Finney-Smith acquisition makes that seem unlikely. Long linked to a player like Washington's Jonas Valanciunas, a target for the team this summer in free agency, it's become clear that the Lakers' needs to get bigger aren't as important to them as their desires to get faster, more athletic and more dynamic. While teams have expressed interest in Utah center Walker Kesler, the Lakers included, the belief in NBA circles is that he's not available in any realistic trade scenarios, Utah electing to keep one of the NBA's top rim protectors through the deadline. The team also probably used its most practical trade chip, D'Angelo Russell's expiring contract, in the Finney-Smith deal. Multiple rival executives have said that they don't think the Lakers should invest some of their limited draft capital and tradable contracts for a player who slows them down, and one who, in a playoff series, would have a limited role considering the overwhelming bulk of center minutes will still fall to Davis. While the Lakers, and Redick has said it, do need more toughness, finding it on the perimeter instead of in the paint seems to be the goal. Even as the Lakers' offense has spiked over the last 7 games, they've done it while still being in the bottom half of the league in three-pointers attempted and made. Targeting shooting and athleticism on the perimeter, particularly in the form of a player who can operate off the ball, is something the Lakers should have their eyes on. Rival scouts and executives who agree with that are always quick to point out that virtually every contending team is trying to add athletic shooters to their roster. Lakers news: LeBron James discusses motivation to continue playing. In his 22nd NBA season, and having just turned 40 years old, Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James continues to defy all matters of how good a player can be at this stage of his career. More proof of that came on Friday night as he passed Michael Jordan for most career 30-point games in the Lakers' win over the Atlanta Hawks. It wasn't that long ago that many were questioning if LeBron was finally hitting his decline, but he has quickly turned that around and the Lakers are benefiting from it. There has always been a ton of outside noise surrounding James, but the Lakers star pays little attention to it. "I guess it's just growth from my age and understanding what matters and what doesn't matter," LeBron said after the game. "Outside noise has never deterred me from my goal and my personal journey, my personal legend. So you just know that the only way you can get to where you want to get to is work. There's gonna be conversations about what I should do, how I should do it, how many years I've played, why I got this and why I got that, but nobody can ever say that I cheated the game and I didn't work for everything I got. I put the work in and nothing else matters after that." Just like James said, no one can ever question the amount of work he has put into being one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He has accomplished everything there is to do at this level, but he still continues to push himself simply because he loves the game of basketball. "My motivation is just, I don't even know at this point. I just love the game," LeBron added. "I love to play the game of basketball. I got an opportunity this summer to be in France and to represent Team USA, and that was an amazing opportunity for me and my family being in Paris and bringing home gold. And then just coming back here, I just love the game. Obviously my son over there has given me some more inspiration, some more reason to go out there and kind of just show him what it takes to be a professional, what it takes day in and day out to try to master and be great. I still have a little bit left in the tank. So I guess I'll go until it's kind of empty, I guess." This drive is what has placed James at or near the top of everyone's greatest players list, and it continually helps drive this Lakers team to be as good as it can be this season, and for however much longer LeBron chooses to play. Lakers notes: trade deadline, Christie, Reeves, LeBron. The Lakers have gone 8-3 since they moved Max Christie into the starting lineup last month, ranking 6th in the league in defensive rating over that span, writes Dan Woik of the Los Angeles Times. That makes the third-year guard highly unlikely to be moved prior to the February 6 trade deadline, according to Woik. In fact, Christie is just the type of player the Lakers should be targeting, someone who can provide off-ball shooting, athleticism and perimeter defense. However, people around the NBA are quick to point out that just about every team is looking for players in that mold, Woik notes. As Woik writes, the Lakers have frequently been linked to centers like Jonas Valanciunas and Walker Kesler, but acquiring a big man seems less likely after the acquisition of Dorian Finney-Smith, a floor-spacing forward who is capable of defending multiple positions. Rival teams are skeptical that the Jazz would even trade Kesler, preferring to keep the 23-year-old. Los Angeles would also like to get a look at a second unit featuring a healthy Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt. The latter is expected to make his season debut in January, while Vincent is currently dealing with an oblique injury. Making an all-in move for a maximum salary star seems very far-fetched, per Woik, as the failed Russell Westbrook experiment and the restrictions of the new tax aprons has made acquiring another massive contract unpalatable and impractical, if not impossible. Lakers' blockbuster trade proposal has LA landing $70 million star. After the Los Angeles Lakers made the move to land forward Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton, many expected them to push their chips in even more. Ahead of the trade deadline next spring, Los Angeles is still expected to be active in improving their roster. In this new trade idea, Los Angeles does go for another title and land some strong depth around their two-star players. The trade proposal would involve the Utah Jazz, a team that the Lakers have a recent trade history with. After studying the CBA and using the SpotTrack trade machine, here is how a deal could look between the two sides. Lakers receive Walker Kesler and Colin Sexton. Jazz receive Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Jalen Hood-Schifino, the top 4 protections off the 2027 first-round draft pick, the 2029 first-round draft pick, and a 2025 second-round draft pick. Parting with the 2029 first-round pick would be tough for the Lakers, but this deal could be worth it. Sexton could fill the gap that D'Angelo Russell left, and he would be on an expiring contract next season. Sexton has averaged 17.7 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game this year. Additionally, he has shot 43.8% from beyond the three-point line and would instantly help the Lakers shooting from distance. Adding a player like Kesler to the mix would be massive for the Lakers. Kesler has dominated on the defensive end of the floor since he first arrived in the NBA a couple of years ago. On the season, Kesler is averaging 10.2 points, 10.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 2.7 blocks per game. His ability on the defensive end of the floor could unlock a ton for the Lakers since he would likely be playing alongside Davis. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Walker Kesler? Leave your opinion in the comments.